Hello, my lovely, and welcome to today's reading. For those of you that are returning subscribers, welcome back. You may have noticed that the background has changed a bit, and I'm really excited about this new setup that I've been able to create from the same home that I've been in since I began this channel. And if you're new here, thank you so much for clicking on this video. I'm so excited to get into this message with you. My name is Addison Taylor. I am a tarot reader, and I also delve into astrology and numerology, things that we can spiritually connect to that help us empower ourselves, empower you, and get to know yourself better and on a deeper level. And so if that's something that you are interested in providing for yourself, then please don't hesitate to subscribe and begin this journey with the rest of our little YouTube family over here. I will always have a link to my Etsy shop in the description box of this video. I'm planning to reopen my Etsy shop with some brand new listings this week, actually, maybe tonight after I record this video. So if you want something more personal, more private, more connected directly to you specifically, then feel free to check out my Etsy shop and purchase a private reading from me. And if you are looking at my beautiful orange crescent moon earrings, these are actually designed and created by my creative sister who has her own Etsy shop. And this is actually the Addison collection inspired by me. So I always leave a link to her shop down below as well. Okay, so for today's reading, I'll be flashing a picture here of the 6 piles like I always do here shortly. Highly specific, lots of decks pulled from. Today's message is about your higher self and what your higher self wants to tell you about where you are currently on your journey. Are you walking towards your purpose? Anything that you need to know in order to get there? Maybe anything about what you are going through in your relationships, your work life, your home life. It could cover really anything. So make sure that before you pick your pile, take a moment to pause, breathe in a few deep breaths, calm yourself, and connect to your higher self and your third eye. You don't ever want to choose a pile based on just which door or rock is the prettiest, which pile is the prettiest. Try and focus and imagine that you are taking a seat at my table right here in front of me. This is how I always choose my piles. Pretend that you have paid for this service and you are here in my home about to choose a pile. You have to select which pile is for me to read. You've driven to my house. You've gone out of your way to get here. Make it really, really real. And imagine that you're taking a seat here and I'm asking you, which pile would you like me to read for you? That will help you narrow it down, I think. And if you're feeling drawn to more than one pile, then there could be multiple messages here for you. So take a listen to both. Maybe one's going to talk about love life, one's going to talk about career and family. So, okay, with all of that being said, I will see you at the piles. Hi, pile number 1. Welcome to your personal reading. Go ahead and have a seat, get comfy, grab a snack and a drink. So today's reading, a message from your higher self. I have broken this up into a few different parts, okay? So first I want to take a look at the tarot cards. We'll look at what's going on kind of internally with you. I have another section for the astrological energy that's surrounding you, as well as a section on the spiritual team that's with you right now, the guardian angels, spirit guides, their energy, and what they're here to assist you with during this period. And then we will end the reading on kind of the cards that probably helped you select the pile, the doorway that you chose, the starseed item that you chose. And then I have a match for each pile that has an idea that you can incorporate into your life to help spark some adventure, some passion back into your life, okay? So let's see what tarot cards we have. All right, we have the 3 of Cups, as well as the Queen of Wands. So you all could be fire signs, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. Look at the little dragon there, that's so cute. And with 3 of Cups being here, this could have a lot to do with your relationships, your friendships, some sort of celebration that's up and coming. Perhaps you all are engaged or something going on in your life like that. It could be extended family and friends. And so Spirit wants to touch upon that for you. But we'll look into the psychological cards I have here to get more information. So from the chakra deck, we have insecurity. This is the root chakra, that red chakra. It's our base. it's the roots of the rest of our chakra system. So when our root chakra is blocked, really none of our other chakras are functioning quite properly. It's the roots to that plant within us. And insecurity, this could be literally like you're experiencing some insecurity in your life and you're fully aware of that. But it could also be a bit more hidden, where perhaps there is some insecurity going on in your relationships and your own passions and your own self-expression. Yeah, it feels like you guys are blocking your self-expression to some extent, and I don't know how many of you are fully aware of that. There's an energy of conforming here going on with these three cards, okay? This is what I'm sensing. I don't think that you realize to what extent you are conforming to the people and the groups and the ideologies around you. I believe you guys are in a phase of figuring out who you really are at a core level, and whether or not you believe or agree with the things and the people that you're surrounded with. So you're like in this new phase of kind of breaking out and discovering who you are beyond, who you are due to your parents and who you are due to your friends and who you are due to your job. Just who are you? And quarantine has been a really good time for a lot of us to do that, because it has really separated us from those day-to-day people and activities that maybe have put us in a sort of, not a meditative state, and I don't want to say like brainwashing either, because that sounds too, a distracted state, okay? So you guys are in this phase of really no longer allowing yourself to be just distracted and to move through life without thinking or agree to things without thinking. But who are you aside from all of that? What sort of style really defines you, makes you you? What sort of hobbies, what sort of talents, beliefs, okay? So let's look at the other two cards. All right, so we have this card, and these don't have names or labels, it's just the images. So let me take a look here. Yeah, okay, so you see you have the family portrait in the background, and then you have kind of the mom getting onto the kid. It looks like they're being a bit messy. But from the portrait, it's like this is the image that the family wants to project to the world. All smiles, everyone very well put together. This is what's going on at home. It's almost like you're kind of rebelling against this image, this social media picture perfect image. But it's difficult because you feel restricted constantly by your family, your upbringing, what you feel obligated to do for others. And a lot of this rebelling isn't really you, okay? It's not that you are necessarily a rebellious, chaotic sort of person, but this is coming out of you right now just because you want to be able to put your foot down against society, against the patriarchy, against your upbringing. So I actually feel like once you fully go through this stage and kind of break away and discover yourself, all these sort of negative, because I do feel like you're beating yourself up about certain negative tendencies, like why can't I be more organized? Why can't I have better follow through? Why can't I be more consistent? There's an aspect of you that's still really angry at yourself for these things, but those are byproducts of you internally, your higher self feeling stifled. Once you're no longer stifling yourself, all those sorts of issues that you're having are going to go away. Now, the second picture is this little boy who, it looks to me like the family has gotten into the car and left and forgotten that their son is not in the car. I feel like they're going to drive off down the road, and maybe in 5 minutes they're going to be like, oh my gosh, where is so-and-so, and drive back to get him. But so he's feeling forgotten. So I feel like you have spent a lot of your life conforming to what other people that you love want from you, and feeling like you have been overlooked constantly. Like, I'm always doing things for other people and what they want of me. I'm always thinking about what other people want from me. Like, I'm kind in that way. I'm thinking about what they want and need from me. But why doesn't anyone else do that for me? Why is no one stopping to think about what would make me feel good or what I would like them to do for me? So it feels out of balance. Okay, and then we have, I feel empty and alone unless I'm with someone. So a lot of the reason you feel empty and alone unless you're with someone, at least subconsciously, is because you don't yet have a true relationship with yourself. You don't know who you are without these other people. They help validate for you who you are. And that's why there's that feeling of emptiness if you're not conforming. But the other aspect of it is that because you haven't broken out of the mold and found your true self, you're not really surrounded by a lot of people who mirror that back to you. And of course, there's always a risk that when we step into who we really are, certain relationships are going to fall to the wayside just naturally because they no longer match up. You're no longer giving everything to these other people, and they may not be compatible with who you truly are. Now that you're showing that, yeah, that could fall away. But guess what? There's relationships out there for you in groups and communities and jobs, career, whatever it is, that actually do fit who you truly are. Once you start expressing that, you're going to bring that in, and you're not going to feel this fear of ending up lonely or rejected. Okay, so this is kind of, let's get into the astrological energy, what's going on around you astrologically, because that's going to tell us what spirit and what your higher self is trying to grow within you, what they're trying to push you towards. And it could be related to career or something, who knows? And then we'll go into your spiritual team, what type of entities and angels, etc., that you have around you at this time. I'm going to start with rolling my astrological dice. So let's see what comes up. All right, we have Scorpio, 10th house. It's funny that I just mentioned career. 10th house is our career sector, as well as the North Node. I want to make sure that's facing the right way. Yeah, the North Node. Interesting. So, wow, there's a huge push. So Scorpio is very much about intimacy, our most intimate relationships. It's more of like a one-on-one relationship. So this could have to do with an important, I don't think it has to do with a friendship. Some of you could be married. This could have to do with love life and marriage, or it could have to do with what your parents expected you to grow up and do and become, how your parents expected you to obtain power in the outside world, because Scorpio is very much about power, or who your parents expected you to marry and have a family with. With the 10th house, I do feel like this is spirits trying to push you into your purpose. North Node, this is kind of our internal growth sector, okay? Internally, like it only applies to us. And 10th house is about our career, what we're supposed to be pushing for in our career. And I feel that because of your psychological, subconscious indoctrinations through your childhood and your upbringing, the culture, the background that you came from, as well as what you feel obligated to do because of others in your life, it steered you kind of off track. So Spirit is purposefully trying to break down some things, make you aware of things. Your higher self's trying to make you aware of some things right now. And it may feel a little dark and murky and a bit scary, but it's definitely for a higher purpose in regards to your soul and what it needs to grow in, and ultimately your career, your life purpose in this outer world. All right, so we have, look at that, Moon in Aquarius, and it says here independence. Moon in Aquarius is all about emotionally detaching. Because the moon is here, this could have to do with your relationship with your mom, which is what is literally showing up here in this card. This could have to do with the relationship you have with your mom and how that is negatively affecting your path now in your adult life. So emotionally detaching, working on that. We have Saturn, wisdom. Saturn is very much connected to the 10th house because Saturn is all about what we're supposed to achieve in the outside world. Saturn can also represent restrictions imposed on you by the father. Okay, so this could have to do with either a lack of relationship with the father that's placed restrictions on you in your life, or a very overbearing sort of relationship with the father. I'm feeling more of an overbearingness from the mother and almost like a lack of presence from the father that has restricted you from finding your own method of achievement in the world, because it's almost like you haven't watched it properly mirrored to you. But the thing is, you're not going to. You're not meant to follow your father's path or your mother's path, okay? And then we have Sagittarius. So you all could be Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, or Rising. But I was also feeling a lot in this reading that you guys are meant to break away from the culture, the country, the background that you were indoctrinated in. I do feel like a lot of you are foreigners, so meaning that you are from a particular country but now living in another country, or that your parents are foreigners and they're still trying to impose their background on you, whereas you're trying to, I think you've been trying to more so conform or connect to the current culture that you're in. So there's something like that. And Sagittarius is all about foreign travel and kind of freedom and inner wisdom. At This could be changing a lot of your spiritual beliefs as well. I think a lot of you are meant to follow a very different spiritual path from your parents that may make them feel uncomfortable. And it may be making you really sad to watch their sort of lack of understanding and empathy for you. But just recognize that this was all, your higher self wants you to know that this was all a part of your path and your plan to find your true self. You wouldn't have had to find your true self if you were born into a family that already represented your true self. So your higher self wanted to come into this lifetime in a place and surrounded by people and things that didn't feel like you, because it wanted the journey of self-discovery and how much courage that takes. You had to build up that courage within you to do that. You had to build up an inner sense of strength and confidence in yourself. These are the things that your higher self's trying to build within you. So I want to get some more information on who your guardian angel is, or your spiritual team members. Passed on loved ones could be a part of your spiritual team. So let's take a look at a few cards here to connect with their energy. Okay, we have the Magician. Beautiful. We have the Angel of Being, and this says, my soul rests in the truth that my being is eternal. We have the Sun. Gorgeous. What powerful energy, you guys. And then from my Saints deck, we have Saint Felix, number 35. So 3, 5, or 8 could be significant numbers or related to your birthday. Let me take a look at who Saint Felix is, what he represents. Patron saint of beggars. He was a model of humbleness and tenacity. The meaning of this card when you pull it is awarded steadfastness and realization of small projects. Okay, so you are working on something right now, and it feels like something that is not necessarily being encouraged by some people in your life, or they feel that it lacks groundedness. And you're starting small, okay? But you are going to be rewarded through those efforts. Little bits at a time is what I'm hearing. It's not going to be some big bam sort of reward. You're at the beginning. You're also not at the end where you've worked your way up and now you're going to be receiving this prestigious sort of award or recognition. This is like you're at the beginning. You're at that small first little step, and Spirit's going to be rewarding you soon. Your spiritual team will be rewarding you soon. Now, with the Magician, the Sun, and the Angel of Being, this is all about your own inner peace. Your spiritual team members, your guardian angel is working to help you find your inner light, your inner sun, your inner creativity, as well as your inner power with the Magician. You guys are really, this is going to be something where you guys are not, and this may sound unfortunate, but there are a lot of people with strong fate energy in their charts, in their palmistry, where their life is meant to have several different things that just kind of happen to come into their path, like having a connection with someone and that person being able to help you get a job somewhere. In fact, like all my jobs growing up, up until what I'm doing now, were literally from like people that I knew, like I babysitted this guy's kids, he owned a business, you know, I started working in high school with him, like all this. Okay, you guys don't have that energy. And, you know, which makes me want to say, unfortunately, but I'm hearing from your higher self, no, this is completely fortunate. It only feels unfortunate when you continue to expect it. You guys don't have the energy of a fate or serendipity or coincidence, all right? Your life, whenever you guys get to the end of your life, you are going to be able to look people in the eye, to give that speech to that crowd, to write that biography, and outline exactly how you and only you were the catalyst to every single thing you accomplished. It was through your own drive, through your own courage, through your own willpower. And that is what you are meant to do. That's why we have this Saturn here as well. So the angel that you have with you is extremely powerful, extremely sort of self-starting, self-sufficient, peaceful with its own energy. And that's what it's trying to impart to you and to your higher self. Your higher self carries this energy as well. Otherwise, it wouldn't be a vibrational match to this angelic being that's with you. So you just need to stop doubting yourself. If there's any part of you that's been questioning, Am I a bad person for not conforming? Am I bringing shame to my family? Maybe I shouldn't be doing this. Maybe it should be something a part of me that I just keep hidden. If there's any part of you that's been battling with like guilt in relation to that, let this reading from your higher self be confirmation that you should not feel that way at all. This is exactly how things were meant to play out. And boy, are you guys going to be, it feels to me like your power, your resourcefulness is locked away right now and has been since you were born. But you are getting very, very close to unlocking that power. And you aren't even going to recognize who you were after that point. Who you are going to become is very, very powerful, very good at manifesting. And with Saturn coming up, it could have something to do with, it could become unlocked and activated at your Saturn return. Take a look at where Saturn is in your chart, because during your Saturn return, which is from 28 to 30 years old, that area of your life that it's in is going to be unlocked. It will no longer be caged up, and you're going to use that for your career purpose and your North Node purpose, all right? You're going to get a lot of recognition in that area of your life as soon as that Saturn's unlocked. And I have another message just coming through that your higher self wants you to talk to your dad. That, I know that sounds really random and specific, but that's coming in very strongly, and it's from a grandparent on your father's side of the family that is sad about the relationship. This could just be for some of you. There's a grandfather coming through, and he could be, I don't want to say this because it sounded really specific, but he could have some, he could be Asian, okay? But he doesn't have to be. That's probably just for one or two of you. That is your father's father. And he wants you to reach out to your dad. He wants the dynamics of you and your father's relationship to change, and he wants you to be able to get some healing, maybe even closure, grieving. For those of you whose father has already passed on, your grandfather's coming through because he wants you to communicate with your father through prayer or talking or meditation, okay? So that's a huge aspect of what's going on here. Saturn represents restrictions from our father, and so for you who picked pile 1, that's something that needs to be worked through. I just keep hearing just reach out. Nothing major, just reach out, something small, send a text, reach out is what I keep hearing. So comment below if you know that message is for you. And okay, so last bit of our reading here, let's look at your matchstick as well as the cards that drew you to this reading. So we have this doorway and this card from the Starseed deck, as well as this card from the Spiritual AF deck. And then your match. It says, you can learn a lot of good lessons from a few effed up people. That could have to do with your father. Okay, I also want to say this. Your family or whoever it is, I do feel like it's parents, but whoever it is that you feel restricted by or imposed upon by, I'm hearing from your higher self that those people aren't happy. Those people are not happy. Even if you've gone through your whole life thinking, they just seem so perfect, or they really like things this way, or they want things done this, that way, or the other, or whatever. And they may seem so strong and so confident and so assertive, these people in your life, but they are not happy. So you don't want to follow their path. They're not happy, and they haven't been. And so there's also some sort of element of forgiveness wanting to come through. Forgiveness and just releasing all of this energy that's attached to you. Forgive and release. Those people aren't happy. Okay, so from the Starseed deck, we have love. It says, live your truth and share the love that is in your soul. And that goes really well. Truth always makes me think of Sagittarius, and that love energy goes really well with the forgiveness I was talking about, because I do feel that you've been wronged. You've been wronged, but you're going to be able to emotionally detach from these people and things without having to physically detach from them. You're not going to have to erase these people permanently from your life unless you really want to. This is all about internal and emotional detachment and approaching these people with love, yes, but not with a codependency, okay? And then the doorway, oh my gosh, you guys. The doorway is 3 of Cups. That was the first card that came out in this reading, was the 3 of Cups. And this isn't even a tarot deck. It says, a toast to friendship in the afternoon sun, 3 cups in happiness, 3 cheers are done. And it says at the bottom, celebration is near. So again, this could be an engagement, a wedding, a baby coming into being, a pregnancy, a new love, okay, a relationship with someone that's going to mean a lot for you that maybe other people won't approve of. But there is some sort of small accomplishment that you guys are working towards that you feel like some people are against you. So there is a lot of really good energy coming in for you guys. And yeah, really, really good energy. Your higher self wants you to know that you only have things to look forward to. Hard work, but big accomplishments with that and big rewards with that. And you are going to be surrounded in the future by relationships and people that fully click with you, that get you. And you're going to be at peace with yourself as well. So let's take a look at the match you have. And this is an idea to help spark adventure in your life. It says, get wet or dirty, do a mud run, play paintball, or wade in a creek. So just a fun little idea. If you guys have the ability to try that out sometime this week, I highly recommend it. It will help spark some excitement back into your life. And as always, if this reading resonated, don't hesitate to subscribe. My family's actually growing pretty quickly over here. I hit 300 subscribers this week. Forgot to say that in the intro. I love you all, and we're always looking to grow. And my purpose for you is just to help self-empower you, to help you connect on a deeper level with your own self, to develop your own psychic abilities, your own intuition, so that way you can make decisions for yourself, strong decisions. And so if that's something you're interested in, then please subscribe. Don't forget to give me a thumbs up. And leave me a comment before you leave. That's just a free way to help me out and help grow my channel. So I always appreciate it when you all do that. And I always respond in the comments. And so I will let you go here, but I love you and I'll see you next time, okay? Hi, Pile 2, and welcome to your reading. Go ahead and take a seat, grab a snack and a drink, and let's get into this. The first message was so thorough, and Spirit really came through. So I'm excited to get into you guys' pile and see what the message is. Now, I did break up the reading into several parts, again, so I can be more specific with you all. We'll start with a couple of tarot cards and what's going on internally with you all. Then I want to touch on the astrological energy that's surrounding you so that we can discover what your higher self is trying to grow within you or push you towards. And then we're going to get into the spiritual team member that's most strongly surrounding you. So it could be a guardian angel or a passed on loved one that has a few messages. And then we'll end the reading with the cards that probably brought you to kind of select this pile: the doorway, the starseed message, as well as a message from the spiritual AF deck. And then I have a match here, and this match is going to give you an idea or an activity that can help spark some adventure and passion back into your life. Oop, I knocked that over. So with all that being said, let's get into the tarot. Wow, okay, you guys have the World. So this is Saturn energy. You could be going through your Saturn return. Saturn could be a very strong planet in your chart. So Capricorn, Aquarius energy. Travel could be on the horizon for you all. And I'm feeling a very sort of fixed energy. So some sort of achievement, and that energy is surrounding you. And then we have the Queen of Cups. Queen of Cups is water energy. Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. You could be that, or you could just be connecting to your own inner Queen of Cups. I feel that those of you who chose pile 2 are very good at taking care of things in the outside physical world. From the outside looking in, you feel like a very accomplished, grounded, serious, steady person. That's the type of energy I'm getting. But emotions, I feel, have been something that has been suppressed or unacknowledged, as well as, because water energy is all about spirituality and psychic ability, your psychic abilities, your intuition. And I feel like you guys are stepping into this energy. It's almost like, okay, I've focused on kind of the physical reality and physical world. I've got that down so much so that it's almost kind of boring. Like I can kind of do these things without even having to put much effort into it. And so now it's like, now you have the room and the space to kind of delve into your psyche, your psychology, your spirituality. All right. So the chakra that it wants to come through for you, which this makes perfect sense, is the indigo or the purple chakra. It actually is represented by our third eye. So complete spirituality. And it says here, faith. Faith. So yeah, you guys are, your higher self wants to acknowledge that you guys are walking on the right path in terms of your spiritual journey. It might feel a bit scary or even wonky is the word that I'm hearing. So that may be some like a way that you think about it, but or frou-frou or kind of out there. Because yeah, this is kind of the first time in your life where you don't have like facts and data and tangible results to back up what you're thinking about, what you're talking about, what you're doing. Because spirituality isn't about any of that. It's another realm. It's our spiritual self. So yeah, you guys are on the right path. Your higher self just wants to give you encouragement that the prayers that you are putting out into the universe, when you're talking to God, when you're talking to your angels, it's not for nothing. Okay, so no need to feel silly or crazy. They are listening. They're absolutely listening, and communication is occurring back and forth through synchronicities. All right. Oh, how cute. So from our interactive cards, these cards don't have names. It's just the imagery. So first we have this little girl. She's on her crutches with her animals in the forest and nature. And then we have this other woman. She's older, or it could be I feel like it's a woman that's kind of way up high and looking out over the horizon. This is a perfect description or symbolism for what I was talking about with the tarot cards. This is the energy you all were born into. Very grounded. This is a healthy energy too, though. I mean, this little girl's very connected to her immediate surroundings, very connected to animals and to nature. Even though her life has thrown her some struggles with her physical reality, with her body, and specifically with this card, she pushes through. She manages well. So even if you all weren't born in like the perfect family, like I definitely feel there's some pain from your past, but you guys have managed it really, really well, mastered it. And so now you're connecting to your third eye, which is going way outside of your physical reality, and you're seeing things from a higher perspective. You're discovering the spiritual truths. You are, really on another level right now, spiritually. And yeah, your higher self just wants to acknowledge that. Like, good job. I want to give you guys a hand clap because you are masters. You guys are true masters of realities. So just keep trusting in yourself. I feel like you guys are pretty confident, but yeah, keep trusting. And so here from this card, it says, if I ignore a problem, it will go away. If I ignore a problem, it will go away. I want to pull a tarot card just to get some more information on what this problem is about. What is this problem about, Spirit, that they are ignoring? Okay, I'll show you the images here in just a second. Yeah, no other cards want to come out. Okay, let me show you what we got here. So, we have the High Priestess, very spiritual energy, as well as the Seven of Swords. The Seven of Swords feels to me to be connected to this. Okay, so your intuition is on point right now. And because you've grown your intuition, there are some things you're feeling intuitively about your environment, maybe in some relationships where you're not trusting in it though, okay? So there's something you're feeling internally about a relationship with someone. It could be a boss, a particular job that's maybe making promises, and you just feel uncertain intuitively about whether or not they're going to keep that promise. It could be in your love life. There's something. It's like your intuition is so on point right now because you're connecting to your spirituality that you are feeling things intuitively that you haven't felt before. You're seeing things with your third eye. But the problem is you're very open to receiving the intuitive information when it's something more positive, like maybe a message from your angels or a sign or synchronicity from them, or maybe whenever you're studying religion and your own spiritual beliefs and expanding those. But when your intuition is sending you more negative signs and signals, like don't go do that, don't talk to that person, you can't trust this person's kind of being sneaky or gossiping about you, or this person's untrustworthy, that's when you're shutting it down and thinking, oh, no, like I don't have any proof of that, so I'm not going to mess with that. If I ignore that problem, it'll just go away on its own. And Spirit wants you to start acting upon your intuition, positive or negative. Start acting upon that truth and using it to guide you in life. Your intuition, when it's strong, it can help guide you. It can help prevent you from getting into negative relationships or situations. It can help you uncover things that you wouldn't have been able to uncover before. So there's some sort of problem or intuitive inkling you guys have been ignoring, and your higher self wants you to stop doing that. All right, let's take a look at the astrological energy around you. Maybe that will help me get a little bit more into this problem that's being ignored. But this is going to touch upon kind of the astrological energy, what sort of growth you guys are walking towards or being pushed towards during this time. Okay, we have Neptune, we have Scorpio. Scorpio is what came through for the last group. And then we have the second house. So Neptune is all about spirituality, but it's also about illusion. Scorpio is about intimacy with others and power as well. Second house is about money and finances. So there may be someone who is financially dependent on you, or someone that is asking for a loan, asking for money, or promising to give you money. Yeah, there's something with your money going on, or it could be with someone else that you love very much. With Scorpio there, it could have to do with a promise that someone has made to your spouse or your partner, or to maybe an elderly parent or grandparent. And so you feel like, well, it's not really into my business. They probably know more about it than I do, even though you're feeling off. Like maybe they're going to make an investment or make a loan to somebody. You need to tell them or yourself, depending on how this is playing out, to listen. To your intuition is right in regards to this. And a lot of money could be lost due to this mistake, okay? Neptune is all about that illusion. Scorpio is about power. You don't want to give your power over to someone who doesn't deserve it, all right? So that's, yeah, let's take a look at the rest of the astrological cards. So we have Mars in Capricorn. It says authority. Sun in Cancer, which says resourcefulness. Cancer is a very intuitive energy as well. Mars and Capricorn. Okay. And then we have Gemini, the butterfly. So you all could be Gemini, Sun, Moon, or Rising. Maybe the person involved in this has Gemini energy. And look, we have Neptune again. Neptune a second time. Okay. You guys are at a point in your life where you're very, very spiritually aware and connected. You don't need facts, data, logical proof, tangible proof for what you're feeling, because that's exactly what our intuition is. With Gemini, this could have to do with siblings, and an elder sibling perhaps. Perhaps you are the elder sibling. And same with that Mars in Capricorn. That usually represents someone older, someone in an authority position. So it could be a boss. I think for all of you, it's going to be something different. You need to use your intuition so that you can become more resourceful. Resourcefulness is the opposite of overspending. So with the second house, which is all about our money, there's going to be money unnecessarily lost. But I feel like the reason you would have been pulled to this reading is to help kind of save that before it happens. So just trust your gut, okay? The message is going to be slightly different for everybody. But yeah, you guys are a very strong, very powerful energy. Like, I keep wanting to like clap for you guys, which is weird. I've never wanted to do that. But that's the energy of your pile, where it's like, yes, like, oh my gosh, you guys are awesome. Absolutely awesome. Okay, so let's look at your guardian angel or the deceased loved one that's around you and tap into their energy and any messages they want to provide you with. Okay, so we have King of Cups. So this is masculine energy, water energy, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. All right. We have the Angel Prince of the East. And this says, I purify my mind by affirming my worth and honoring my choices for love. And then we have the Strength card. This is Leo energy. So you could be Leo, or perhaps it's just the energy of your angel. Yeah, King of Cups is making me think of Cancer. Cancer Leo energy feels quite strong here, okay? And the angel that's around you, it feels masculine, all right? It feels masculine. Let me get into the, let's take a look at the Saint card, and then I'll tap more into this energy. So you all chose Saint Barbara. This is card number 15. So 1, 5, or 6 could be significant. 6 is ruled by Venus, which is all about our values and our finances, anything that's of value to us. So that's wanting to come through strongly. This is very interesting. Okay, let me see what the definition of this card is. Saint Barbara, she was martyred And then her executioner was struck by lightning. Wow. So the meaning of this card is adversity, separation, and unexpected events. This is going to be very specific, but some of you could be going through divorces or some sort of dividing up of assets. It could even have to do with your own kids, so like custody battles, things like that. And the angel or the deceased loved one that's with you is a very intuitive, kind of elderly masculine sort of energy. And this is also someone who, there is a lot of energy of like a love life and romantic. I don't, that sounds so random, romantic love sort of energy. So I don't know if it's a guide that specifically helps you in your romantic life, or someone that I don't know, they have a very romantic history, okay, and a very romantic sort of energy, like a love story sort of energy about them. And they are here, they're surrounding you to help you through any sort of upcoming period of unexpected and sudden change, because you all are a very sort of fixed energy. Very fixed energy, and I don't feel that much has happened in your life that you haven't either expected or been able to handle and work with. And you guys are a very like steady, slow pace sort of energy. And your higher self wants you to know that the stage of your life that you're in is about some connecting to your intuition and navigating through some more unexpected, sudden sort of changes, whether that be like a sudden promotion or a sudden move. Like there's spontaneity is wanting to come into your life. Water energy is all about being able to flow. And this spirit guide that's with you is very much about that flow. And it feels like you guys are being kind of pulled beneath the surface of the water for the first time in your life, like becoming a mermaid in a sense, which you've never done before. You guys have always been on the ship that's above the water, but you're now like diving deep under. And yeah, it's almost like it almost feels like a rebirth in a sense. But with that comes a lot of illusion, okay? A lot of instability, not in a negative way, not always in a negative way, in a beautiful way, in a creative way, okay? So let's take a look at the cards that brought you to this reading, the final cards in the reading, but the most fun, of course. So from the Star Seed deck, we have Freedom. And it says, follow your heart and nurture your soul with love and freedom to grow. Some of you may have felt called to pile number 1 because there's some overlapping themes here. So remember when I pulled the World card, I mentioned that travel may be on the horizon for you all. Along with this card as well, I do feel like you guys have a place that you've always dreamed of traveling to, either for vacation or you've always dreamed of living in. And so this could have to do with that, you know, finding a place to live but spending the appropriate amount of money to do that, no more, no less. And so, yeah, your higher self is bringing you true freedom by activating this the spiritual self to which you can always escape to. So, okay, let's look at the doorway you chose. I think this card's so cool. And it says, silent skill. I challenge you to unpack your mind in meditation's grace. The soul can unwind. Breathe in, breathe out, let go of doubt. Wow. So meditation could do you guys some good, definitely, in connecting more to who you are beneath the surface of your physical body. That's what your higher self wants you to do most over this time, and to not waste this energy on falling into traps with other people or traps in regards to like life, the mundane side of life. And this card here says, stop saying yes to the crap you hate. I'm going to read the back of this for you. It says, we say yes to dumb crap because we want to be cool, to caretake others, and because we think we need a reason to say no. The people we say no to may never understand why we needed to say no in order to be true to ourselves. You don't even have to know why you said yes in the past. Don't get stuck in a process and spiral about it. If you're not into it, just stop saying yes and move on. So there is someone in your life or some things in your life that you need to say no to, because I feel like it affects your values to say yes to this, and it could possibly affect your finances. So saying no, all right? So final item here, your matchstick, a spark adventure idea. It says, create an alter ego and be that person for a day. That would be fun. That would be fun. Let me know if you guys have ever done that before or if you're willing to try it out. I would love to know how it goes. So as always, thank you so much for coming to this reading. Don't forget to subscribe if you felt connected to me. I'm looking to grow more people here on my YouTube channel and my YouTube family. I would love to read for you again in the future. And don't forget to hit the like button and give me a comment. It really helps push this video out to others that need to hear it. Plus, I like talking to you guys down in the comments, and I always make sure and respond. So with that being said, I love you. Best of luck on this spiritual journey. You guys are going to do awesome. Like seriously, you guys are such a achiever sort of energy here. So you don't even need the luck. So just go and be your badass selves and conquer the world. And I'll see you guys next time. Love you. Bye. Hi, Pile 3, and welcome to your reading. Go ahead and take a seat, grab a snack and a drink, and let's get into this. So your reading I have broken up into several parts so that way I can be more specific in this message from your higher self to you. We'll go into the tarot, what's kind of going on internally with you all. Then we're going to touch on the astrological energy that's surrounding you, what you're being pushed towards in regards to growth, maybe why you're in the state that you're in, what the purpose of that is. Then we'll get into your spiritual team, a message from a deceased loved one or your spirit guide or your guardian angel in connection to your higher self. And then lastly, we'll touch on the cards that kind of brought you to this reading, the cards that were on the very top of the pile, the doorway, and this card from the spiritual AF deck, as well as your match. And the match gives you an idea or a suggestion of something you can do to spark adventure in your life, to bring the passion and the excitement and spontaneity back. So let's start with the tarot. All right, we have the Six of Wands, beautiful, recognition, victory, as well as the Five of Pentacles, which is the opposite of the Six of Wands. Six of Wands, you know, the sun's shining down. This man here is being recognized. He's being applauded. He has the spotlight on him. And Five of Pentacles is the opposite. This woman has sunken to the bottom of the sea. There is no light coming into her, nothing shining on her. She feels out in the cold and disregarded. So this could be kind of the dynamic that your higher self wants to touch on with you. So let's look at the rest of these cards so I can get a better picture of what's going on internally with your higher self. Okay, so the chakra that wants to come through is the yellow chakra. So in the order of our chakras, we have our root, which is red, our sacral, which is orange, and then above that, kind of right here, is our yellow chakra, and I forgot the name. But it's all about our intelligence, our thought processes, and our joy. You know, that's what yellow represents. But the message on this card, if you read the story in the book, is actually about this woman who appears very, very joyful. But you find out that she's actually expressing joy for the sake of others. She wants others to feel happy around her. So she kind of puts on this show that she's very, very happy. But when she leaves at the end of the day, she feels very much unseen. She's not allowing herself to be seen because of guilt, maybe. She doesn't want to bring the energy of everyone down, so she just kind of slaps a smile on her face, and she's actually the life of the party. Every party she goes to, she's the one putting on a show for people, but no one really knows what's going on beneath the surface because she feels too guilty and ashamed to allow that to happen. So yeah, so on the outside, people may look at you and think, yeah, you're this victorious, happy person that's applauded and receives recognition and attention from everyone, while internally you're thinking, actually, no, I'm way, way down here, deep below the surface of the waters, where the light can't even get to me, and no one really knows what's going on with me. Okay, so mental health could be something that's wanting to come up for you. All right, so from my interactive cards deck, these cards don't have names, they're just pictures, but we have the pig here, and I'm actually hungry, that looks really good, as well as the superhero. Very interesting and opposing energies here. I do think there is an aspect to you all that feels, it's almost like you feel like you can push yourself to the limits. You can force yourself to the limits of anything without having to worry about the physical consequences of that. There seems to be a detachment from the body here for you guys. It could be through what you eat or what you consume or the risks that you take with your body in some sense. Yeah, because I almost feel like you have an irritation with the needs of your body, with how much sleep you need, with how much water you need. You don't even want to acknowledge it with what vitamins you need. There's a detachment here from the physical body, and your higher self, which isn't necessarily a part of, your physical body, wants to say, okay, sorry, I'm about to just start channeling something from your higher self and stuff. So this is from your higher self. You are a very spiritual person, okay? Some of you may resonate with the term star seed, okay? But I'm going to say I because I'm talking from the higher self. Sorry, this happens sometimes when I'm doing personal readings. I want you to recognize and remember that you came into this lifetime to connect with your physical body and the messages it sends you. When you're feeling anxious, don't just blame it on a problem with the body. Don't just blame it on something that needs to be fixed through medication or become irritated by it. Recognize that that's a tool. That anxiety that's being induced is a tool to help you connect back to your body, to me, your higher self, by taking action upon that message. I'm feeling anxious. I have anxiety. I'm going to rearrange some things in my life so that I don't feel that way anymore. I'm feeling really sleepy. Instead of being irritated with the fact that my body needs sleep, I'm going to honor that and connect with it in that way. Hunger, same thing. All these things with your body, I want you to connect with, and I want you to remember that that's exactly why we came down into this lifetime. We wanted a lifetime on earth specifically for the body, attaching to and learning from the body. In other worlds, perhaps that you've lived on before, or when you're back into your soul, there are many worlds that don't have physical bodies, and it's all about just this spiritual soul sort of oneness with the universe and everything. There's no need to go to the bathroom, to shower, to eat, to brush your teeth, to take medication, to go to therapy. There's none of that in those worlds. And you feel very much at home in those sorts of worlds, but you've already mastered that. That's why you feel this pull to detach, okay? Because that's something you're comfortable with. That's like South Node sort of energy. But you came into this lifetime because you wanted to learn how to connect with a human body and develop a relationship, a loving relationship with it. You didn't come into this lifetime because you wanted to find your spirituality. You've already mastered that. So your higher self is just wanting to say to remember that that was kind of the biggest lesson of this lifetime, was connecting to your body and your mind, especially with that yellow chakra. So depression, anxiety, nightmares, these could all be components of your physical reality in this lifetime. And your higher self doesn't want you to feel burdened by that or angered by that or irritated by that. It wants you to remember that you came down into this lifetime specifically to experience those things in order to take action on those, to provide healing to the body. Even being like a doctor or a nurse, that would actually be a really great way to manifest this purpose, this life purpose you have of getting to know the body, anatomy, physical therapy, psychology, art as well, like painting, because that requires movement with the hands. These are all really good ways for you to connect to that energy and develop a better relationship with your body. Okay, that was a long tangent. I'm sorry. But your higher self is coming in very, very strong with that message. So let's take a look at this final card here, and then we'll get into the astrological energy. Okay, so it says, by being objective and having clarity, I know that true wisdom always transcends one person being right and the other being wrong. The flip side of this card says, I'm right and they're usually wrong. I feel like there are, for those of you that chose this pile, there are people in your life that feel like a nuisance to you. They're telling you things. It could be like mom, like, oh, you need to change your diet, or, this diet's better, or that diet's better. Oh, you should make sure to do this and that, with like, and it just feels like you're irritated by it, like you're sick of people being up in your business, which I completely understand. I'm actually resonating a lot with this pile. And your higher self wants you to remember that although maybe these people are being kind of nosy because they love you or whatever, or the doctors just, It almost feels like even medical advice almost irritates you because you have done a lot of research and doctors aren't always right. I'll give you that. There's a lot that they're behind on. And once you start delving into your spirituality, you realize things. And so it almost feels like you don't want to go to certain people because you feel like they're too engrossed in the physical reality. And you see everything through a much more spiritual perspective. So why are you going to listen to, what these sort of 3D operative people have to say? But this card is coming through because your higher self actually does want you to listen to some of it. It's not that they're completely right, but some of it is truth. And so your higher self wants you to be a bit more open to the people and the messages that it brings to you, because there is some truth in all of it. And this is ultimately just about you mastering, really, it feels like your entire life. The whole reason you came down here was to develop a significantly important relationship with your body and the needs of your body. That kind of almost sums up the whole purpose, which is interesting. So every time you ignore a need from your body, you're going against your purpose in that sense. But you are very spiritual, highly spiritual. I can't wait. Let me take a look at what the astrological cards have to say. I want to see if like a South Node energy comes up or something. So we'll start with the dice. Okay, we have Venus, second house, and Virgo. Virgo is the sign of the healer. Venus in Virgo. And Venus is all about our values. The second house is also about our values and our finances, but it's also about our self-worth, okay? Second house is, and our confidence. So with Virgo being the body, the doctor, the healer, yeah, there is a need to value the physical reality more than you are currently. And I don't want this to come across like a lecture, okay? I always have a hard time like wording things. But I feel so connected to this pile, so maybe that's why I'm wording things this way. But there's a need to like honor the body, develop a relationship with the body, heal the body, value the body. It needs to be of the utmost priority in your life, actually, for this lifetime, is the body and health. And you guys have very strong healer energy. Maybe you have like a Pisces South Node, okay? And you could use that. It's like you need to connect to your spiritual self because that's where you feel at home. That's your comfort zone. So find a way to express that energy, but don't allow that energy to be the entirety of your life, okay? Delve into your spirituality, your meditation, your tarot cards, your astrology. Get that out of your system each day. Maybe do that for career. But then spend the other part of your day really connecting with your physical body, your health, its needs, getting your checkups, doing therapy if that's something that's for you, having a vitamin regimen, creating some really good healthy meals, all exercise, all of that. Okay, so then we have Mars in Taurus. Defense. We have Aries energy, the radical. So you all could have like a 10th house in Aries or Aries sun, moon, or rising. And then we have Scorpio. Aries, and all three cards that came up here are Mars energy. Aries is ruled by Mars. Scorpio is ruled by Mars. And then we have Mars in Taurus, which is interesting because on the die we had Venus, which is the opposite of Taurus. So you guys are, you have quite a bit of masculine and Mars sort of energy within you. And, the thing about masculine energy, which I even feel it here on this card, is masculine energy does kind of feel invincible. It's the masculine side that goes to war, that puts themselves on the line, that ignores, whatever's going on in the body in order to push through and conquer. You guys have that very strongly within you. But this lifetime is about kind of tempering that energy with this Venus feminine energy, which is all about nurturing and caring. And yes, stopping to kiss the boo-boo and, making sure you get your rest and you're tucked into bed and you get your meals and all of that. Because you have this sort of like fighter energy to where I feel like you would be capable of going 2 days without sleep, maybe a couple days without eating, and be able to push through and be fine or think that you're fine. But you're not. Your body's not. At some point, it is going to start kind of breaking down, and you're going to really hate it then. So your higher self wants you to make this a mission of yours. Connection to the body, love for the body, and nurturing energy for the body, okay? All right, let's see what messages from your spiritual team want to come through, and let's get some. I want to see what the energy of your it could be a guardian angel or a deceased loved one, whoever wants to come through. So let's take a look. Okay, we have 2 of Pentacles. We have the Wheel of Fortune. This is Jupiter energy. Okay, sorry, my phone stopped recording because it said my battery was full, so I had to delete a few things. Okay, so we have Angel of Wisdom, which is a very sort of Jupiterian sort of energy as well. And then we have Saint Michael. And this is card number 66. So again, we have Venus here, which rules the number 6, and then 66. So 6 could be a significant number in your life, as well as 12 or 3, because that's kind of what those break down into. So let me look and see what the short little definition of this card is. So Archangel Michael, so this is your guardian angel is definitely Archangel Michael. Okay, I can say that with certainty. And it says when you pull this card, it wants to talk about skill and manual dexterity, creativity, and inventiveness. So skill and dexterity, inventiveness, these sorts of things all require the body in order to put forth that invention, in order to put forth that skill. So I believe strongly with this Wheel of Fortune, Jupiter, as well as the Angel of Wisdom, there is some new spiritual insights that you're meant to bring into this world. And the longer you are in this life, the better. The stronger your body is, the more capable you will be of accomplishing this task. So the body is of utmost importance. Now, you are very lucky to have Archangel Michael as your guardian angel, because he does protect you from a lot. There may have been some close calls in your life that Archangel Michael kind of stepped in and protected you from, whether that was like a near accident, or whether that is like a certain habit maybe you've had for a long time and you felt lucky that you haven't had to suffer any consequences from that. Things like that. That there's a lot of protection around you. But what Archangel Michael is here for you specifically is to juggle and balance these 2 things at once. So first of all, your soul and your spirituality and your spiritual self, along with your bodily self, the physical part of you, the ego, but also 2 talents, because there's something in regards to healing that you're meant to do with your life. It could have to do with healing people's body by healing their mind. So like psychology, or something with like a doctorate, or like a doctor or healer, but it's like somehow by either healing the body, you're also going to heal their mind, or by healing the mind, it's going to in turn heal the body, where their physical symptoms will start to dissipate and go away due to the healing. You're definitely a healer, okay? That's coming through very strongly. And your body is actually quite powerful and quite capable, but Archangel Michael and your higher self just don't want you to push it to the limit unnecessarily. So take the steps to kind of do what you need to do in order to protect it from that. And to bring it back to your tarot cards here, I think you feel very powerful in the outside world, but then there's certain needs that you kind of just like ignore, shove down beneath the surface, okay? So I do feel like this joyful kind of I can do whatever and I can do it all sort of energy is what you project, or what you embody most. But there's another aspect of you that's being ignored and forgotten, and your higher self wants you to bring that back up to the surface. Bring these 2 parts of yourself together as one, okay? Both of them are needed and both of them are useful. I feel like this other part of you, you're like, well, that's the weaker part. That's unnecessary. I can do so much more if I just ignore that part, okay? So let's get into the last few cards of the reading, which are the cards that brought you to this pile. So the Starseed card you chose says guidance. You are not alone. You are guided by masters and teachers of the highest realms. Did I not say you guys were spiritual? Wow. You're definitely here for a very big purpose, but you need to be here in your body in order to accomplish this purpose. If you forget about the body and you just stay in your spiritual self, you're not helping anyone down here on earth. So you're meant to connect with this sort of 3D earthly realm because of the insight and wisdom you can bring to it. The doorway you chose was this one, and it says intuition. Simple, complex. Words of pain or words that heal. You come to know truth by the way that it feels. Feeling. How does your body feel? Is it tired? Is it stressed? Is it hungry? What is it? You're going to bring these 2 aspects of the self into one, the physical and the spiritual. Beautiful. And I do also want to say, because I'm hearing this as well, you have had so much training just to prepare you for this single lifetime. So much training, so many other lifetimes in so many other realms, so much study, so much, your intellect is very on point. You guys are very intelligent, okay? There's been so much training just for this. They want you to get excited about it. They want you to get excited about it and to prioritize it. And it's going to start with the body. Okay, and then the last card you have says, loving is its own reward, which is all about the body as well. Loving the body. But let me read the back of the card to you. The very act of loving is the benefit of the risk. We all want to be loved back. We all want to be supported. But when you grow up, you see that it has nothing to do with how the person who receives your love reacts, and all about you just being willing to open your heart in this dangerous world. Be a gangster and love the F out of someone today. Expect nothing in return. And this to me feels like your relationship with your body, because it does often feel like, okay, well, I'm going to feed myself, but I'm just going to be hungry again, in a few hours, and I'll always deal with hunger for the rest of my life. There's no way to get this irritant out of my life. And that is the truth of coming down into a lifetime on earth. Like, we have to go to sleep, and we're always going to get sleepy at some point. We're always going to get hungry. We're always going to have to go in for checkups. Like, we're constantly dealing with these sort of irritations from the body. But your higher self wants you to love your body with no expectation of your body magically no longer having this need anymore. It's always going to be there. And so nurturing it is what you're meant to do. And you're going to, yeah, this feels like no one else is involved in this but you. The other readings we had kind of relationships with others come up. You guys are very intelligent, very strong, very powerful, very spiritual. I would love to know if you're kind of in the same line of work that I do, because I feel like you're capable of it. Okay, I'll end it with your matchstick, an idea to kind of spark adventure in your life. It says, take a kind of transportation you've never used before. So subway, bicycle, rollerblading, how about hot air balloon? That could be fun. Or some other like risky, I'm not a person for heights, but anyways, if there's a way you can kind of try that out this week, maybe learn how to skateboard, that could be a way to bring some excitement back into your life and get you very connected to your body as well. So as always, if this reading connected with you, please feel free to subscribe if you haven't already, and join my little family over here of lovelies. I so enjoyed giving you this reading and connecting with you. This pile resonated a lot with me as well. And don't forget to leave me a comment and a like before you head out. I love talking to you guys in the comments. I always respond, and I love to get the background and details of kind of what came up and get a deeper understanding of what's going on with you. So I love you guys so much, and I will see you in the next reading. Bye. Hi, pile number 4, and welcome to your reading. Go ahead and have a seat, get comfy, grab a snack and a drink, make yourself at home. I'm so happy to have you here. Today's reading I have broken up for you into several different parts. So we'll start with the tarot, what's going on with you kind of internally. Then we'll get into the astrological energy that's surrounding you and why, what you're being pushed to grow towards. And then we'll get a message from your guardian angel, your spirit guide, a deceased loved one, someone on your spiritual team that wants to come through for you. And lastly, we will touch on the cards that brought you to this reading, the ones that were on top of the deck. And they're kind of like really fun messages. They always resonate. And then I have a little Spark Adventure matchstick, and it has a fun little idea of something you can do this week or today to help you spark adventure and passion back into your life. All right, so let's see what your tarot has in store for you. Okay, we have the 8 of Pentacles. So this is someone that's working very hard, becoming a master of their craft. And we have the 6 of Swords. And so you'll notice this person's kind of sailing away, maybe into calmer waters, like really detaching from everything in their reality or everything that came before it. Actually, this little girl's, in a coffin. So there's some sort of transformation or death in some sort of symbolical or literal sense that is occurring in your life right now. You're sailing towards something new, and it may be after a period of really long, hard work put into something that now is just being left behind. At least that's how you feel about it. And it feels like something that you really loved. It could have been a relationship that you put a lot of years into or just a lot of work into that you're now having to leave behind, or a place you grew up in, you know, a town or wherever you're living, or yeah, there's a sort of sadness kind of enveloping this reading after a lot of hard work and energy and dedication put into something. So it could be a new job that's on the horizon for you. Maybe you've gone through layoffs, or it could literally be a person that has passed away, a relationship that you've been separated from. There could be distance involved, but let's take a look at the rest of the cards and we'll expand on that. So the chakra that wants to come through for you is, this is a gray chakra. So it's actually just outside of our out of our personal chakras in our body. So it's a very spiritual, sort of neutral energy. And we have the Destiny card. So the story of this card I love, because these two people, the one in the black and the one in the white, found out that whenever they were incarnating on, they've spent every lifetime, they have always incarnated together. But they found out that God or Source was not going to have them meet up in this current lifetime, the new lifetime they're about to go into. And they were so distraught by this, so upset, because they're truly like two little soulmates, that they decided, well, why don't we just go and ask and just see? Maybe they can make an exception for us. Maybe they will change their minds if we tell them we want to incarnate together. And guess what? It worked. And God, Source, their spiritual team said, okay, if you guys want to that badly, then sure, we'll work out a way for you guys to be able to meet up and be together in this new lifetime. So I am feeling a strong relationship sort of energy here. So some of you may have gone through a breakup recently with someone that you feel deeply connected to. And I actually feel like it wasn't the love that had ended between you two. It was circumstances that pulled you apart, whether it be a move that pulled one of you away from the other, whether it be obligations, college differences in regards to college or career, or I don't know, some things pulled you guys apart. We'll find out if that's going to be temporary or not, but there is a lot of pain here. And I think a lot of you feel quite silly for the pain that you feel in regards to this loss. And it may not be a relationship, it could be a job or something. I want to try and speak generally and not get too specific here. But that pain that you feel, don't feel silly about that. It is warranted, because there's a deep connection to your past lifetimes in regards to this thing or this person. And that's why it hurts so much. That's why it's so hard for you. Okay, so from the interactive deck, 2 cards came out. And these are just pictures. There's not names for the cards. But so first we have this beautiful tree, which makes me think of like the midheaven energy, as well as the party animal over here, just kind of kicking back and having a good time. So what I want to say about these 2 cards is, don't let what's happening in your outside reality currently, or how you're feeling internally, sway you from your purpose and your intended path. That's what your higher self wants to say. Keep the focus on where you are meant to head, and everything else will fall into place accordingly. Don't allow yourself to indulge too much on your negativity or the negative things you're experiencing, because this is like the energy of, look, I'm going through a hard time, so I'm not going to put any effort in today because I deserve to just have a beer, have a cigarette, go party. Like, I'm too distraught to kind of deal with the things that I need to deal with in regards to job and schooling and my obligations. I deserve that, right? Well, yes, everyone deserves it for a little bit. But your higher self just wants you to know, don't let this become a permanent state for you, okay? Make sure you get yourself back on track. Like, I acknowledge the pain you're feeling. This is your higher self. I acknowledge the pain you're feeling. Just don't let it become a permanent state. Okay, so then we have, no matter what I do, I always manage to have health and financial disasters. No matter what I do, I always manage to have health and financial disasters. So yeah, this is, you've been pulled away from something. There's definitely been something shocking that has happened with this energy, because this is like a very steady, hard-working energy, like just building one pentacle after the other, and then this is like death being pulled apart from it. So this could be in regards to a health surprise that's come up for you or surrounding you, or something in regards to finances or difficulty. This could all, if it has to do with a relationship, there could be a part of you that feels like you won't be able to function without this person or without being in a serious relationship, because you don't feel capable or trustworthy of handling your finances or handling your life. You like having this other person with you. They've kind of been, that's their strong suit, you know, is dealing with those sorts of things. So there's a fear involved in all of this. And there's a lack of, it's like you don't really believe in your own capability, I guess. You're almost like, why even try? Like, I'm no good at that. Or even when I do try, I keep running into the same problem. So it's like I feel like a lot of like you're talking down to yourself a lot. Okay, let's look at the astrological energy that's surrounding you, because that may help explain why you're going through what you're going through, what caused it, what's the purpose of this. So let's see. Okay, we have Mars, Sagittarius, and 11th house. So you could be Sagittarius. The 11th house is about the groups we're involved in. It's about our friendship circles, our organizations that we're involved in. And with Mars being there, you know, Mars is all about wanting to really like assert themselves. Mars is also the planet of war. And Sagittarius is kind of this foreign energy of being pulled away. So I do feel like whatever was taken from you wasn't taken quietly. It wasn't taken amicably. It feels like there was an upset involved, and it may have affected your friendship groups. For example, if you've worked at a particular company for years and years and you've just been laid off, a lot of the people at the company may have been close friends of yours, and now you have lost that connection with them because you no longer work with them. If you dated someone for a long time or were married, you kind of end up creating these mutual friendships that are now pulled away from you because the relationships ended. If you've had to move, let's say for college, for example, you had to move out of state, and you had to literally separate yourself from all of your friends and family, everything you've ever known in order to do it. There's something I do feel with that Mars, that there's an angsty, angry, combative sort of energy involved in all of this that separated you. But let's get into the other astrological cards and see maybe why that's happened. So we have Venus, which is all about our love life and our relationships. Then we have Venus again, Venus in Libra. So I'm feeling a very strong romantic sort of energy here. That's interesting. You know, some of you may have been in like a friends with benefits situation, that this person was a friend, you guys fell into the benefits, and now it's kind of ended that, like severed that relationship for some reason. Maybe one or the other of you didn't want a full-on relationship, but the other did. Okay, and then we have Mars in Aquarius, and it says rebellion. So it feels like the other person rebelled against you, pulled away from you. Or you could have rebelled against them because of their indecision, their lack to commit, to lay out the groundwork of this. Like, I want to call you my girlfriend finally, or I'm ready to propose. And maybe that was taking so long that you finally rebelled. And we're like, screw this. If you don't know what you want from me, then I'm out of here. But that hurt to do that, you know? And then we have conjunction. A conjunction is when two planets are right next to one another. They're merging and creating their own energy. And then the sextile. Sextile is about an opportunity that is very easy to overlook. You don't yet see the opportunity that's there. So yes, I'm feeling that there was a conjunction between you and another person, and destiny has kind of pulled you guys apart for whatever reason, and you haven't yet been able to see the opportunity that has resulted from this ending. But it's there, okay? It's being overlooked, but it's there. There is an opportunity, there is a meaning to all of this. So just don't stay in this state of kind of indulging and detaching from everything. Really stay focused on your purpose. There's a big, big opportunity in all of this that you can act upon now, I think, once you notice it and see it, all right? But if you can't see it right now, just do what you need to do, and that opportunity is going to show up for you. And then it's all going to click, and you're like, oh, you know, years from now, you'll be like, man, if that never happened, if that ending never happened in my life, I never would have gotten over here to this. But you have to put in the work too, or you won't get there. You'll just stay in this sort of stagnant state of sadness and frustration and lack of belief in yourself. Okay, let's learn about your guardian angel or your deceased loved one, whoever wants to come through. We have the Lovers. Wow, this is Gemini energy. So you could have that in your chart. But this could just represent your guardian angel, your spiritual team members. For some of you, there could be a loved one that has passed on and is now a spirit guide of yours, and that may be why this card has come up. But for others of you, your guardian angel does want to bring you significant relationships in your life, does want to bring you marriage and happiness and love and all these things, and that's what they're working towards. Then we have the World. So with the World in Sagittarius, I think travel and separation is an important part of your purpose and your journey in life. So either like, I think it's literally and physically like moving away from where you grew up or studying abroad. Yeah, travel is going to be important for you. Getting comfortable on your own, and detaching from codependency. I think codependency is something that you were meant to work through in this lifetime. First, through having some really negative relationships, which allow you to recognize your own overdependency on others and lack of belief in yourself, and then to work through that and conquer it. We have the Angel of Serenity. It says, I feel serene and tranquil when I accept who I am. That's beautiful. So you're going to come into divine union with the person you were meant to be with in this lifetime once you work through this codependency, once you become a very independent person. And by independent, I don't mean someone who's single forever, because you can be single forever and still be a codependent person, because codependency and dependence are defined by, well, do you feel at peace within yourself? Do you feel capable on your own to handle all that life has to offer you? Until you get to that point, you're still codependent. And so that's kind of what your guardian angel's working on you with. It's your guardian angel is maybe pushing you to travel, to move, for the sake of, once everyone else that I know and love is left behind, can I prove to myself that I can do this on my own? And once you do that, you're going to have this really, really beautiful love story, okay? I'm seeing a very beautiful love story, a strong marriage that's meant to come in for you, a happily ever after sort of marriage, a marriage that lasts a lifetime, with someone that you've incarnated with many times before. That's meant to come in. Okay, this saint, I swear, every time I do a reading, no, I don't even have to say I swear. Literally, look back on any reading I've done on my channel where I have used my spirits, my saints deck, and this saint comes through every single time. And that is Saint Agnes, and she's card number 4. So 4 may be a favorite number of yours, it may be a significant number in your life. And I always still have to look up and remember what she represents, but I'm pretty sure she has something to do with relationships and love. Let's see. So Saint Agnes, yep. She protects engaged couples and favors encounters of love. And when you pull this card, it represents youthful attraction and new friendships. So I'm seeing like an overhaul of relationships in your life. Lots of brand new relationships coming in at once for you, but also completely moving away and separating from relationships from the past, all right? So just believe in yourself. Work on, decide to begin noticing your aspects of codependency and how they come out in your everyday life. Just kind of turn that part of your brain on and kind of just pay attention and notice how it comes out. And the way that you talk to yourself too, because there is a lack of belief in yourself and your capabilities here. And your guardian angel and your higher self want to help heal that within you and grow that strength within you. Okay, so let's look at the last set of cards we have here, which are the cards that brought you to this pile. So from the Starseed deck, we have, wow, release. I love it when the cards line up like this. Release. It says, release anything that keeps you from your path of authenticity. Release it. The doorway you chose was this one. I've actually never seen this card in this deck, but I love this. And it says, interesting, I've never read this card, a distant kiss in a prayer flag. I wish of all wishes that you were here. Through sunlight and rain, I need you near. Oh my gosh, that is so sweet. So, wow. So I actually feel for a lot of you that were for those of you who lost a particular love relationship, I do think you guys are going to come back together in the future, but not until you work on this sort of codependency thing. Wow, that's beautiful. For others of you, this is just your twin flame, your soulmate coming through to let you know that keep moving forward, because you're walking towards them. You're walking towards your true love. Okay, beautiful. Wow. But for a lot of you, there is a sadness surrounding you because of distance, physical, emotional, mental distance from a lot of the people that you love and the things that you know. And so just acknowledgement of that, but also acknowledgement that you are doing the right thing by releasing the past and moving forward. It does feel hard, but wow, are you guys brave for doing so? And so the last card we have, this one's kind of funny. It says, So you want to be a badass? Show your heart to everyone. It takes a lot of courage to be authentic in this world. Showing your heart doesn't mean you're soft all the time or that you're a hot mess or a doormat. It means you're showing up fully as yourself. You know what's weak AF? Living a fake life trying to please others. Wow. So, yeah, you're getting more comfortable with your emotions because I think that, I don't know, there's been some sort of safety net in your life that's allowed you to hide behind, or not hide behind your emotions, but hide your emotions. And that safety net has been pulled apart from you. I do feel like it has to do with relationships, but you're coming into like a completion with yourself. You know, you're healing the divine feminine and divine masculine within yourself. And that in turn is going to bring you like a relationship you can't even fathom or imagine right now. And it could have to do with someone from the past, okay? But regardless, it's like that doesn't even matter. Get out of that energy of the past because there's a really exciting, very romantic, passionate, loving future waiting for you on the other end of this cycle that you're in. So, from the Spark Adventure, not deck, but I guess it's a deck, this is the idea that your higher self has for you. Ooh, this sounds fun. It says, look for hidden treasures in nature or at a garage sale or a thrift shop. So go check out a Goodwill this week. Look for some hidden treasures. That may be a great way actually to connect with this sort of energy of the past, but in a nostalgic and productive way, you know, looking back through old trinkets and, you know, vintage items, things like that. So comment below, let me know how this resonated, what you guys are going through. I love the details from you guys and I always respond. And if this reading did resonate and you haven't yet subscribed, feel free to do so. I would love to have you in my little YouTube family over here so I can continue giving you accurate readings. And your higher self wants to thank you for showing up for this reading. And I would also love it if you could hit that thumbs up button. And I look forward to seeing you guys next time. Okay, I love you. Bye. Hi, Pile 5. Welcome to your reading. Go ahead and have a seat, grab a snack and a drink, get comfy, and let's get into this. So I separated the reading up into several parts. First, we'll get into the tarot and kind of what's going on with you internally. Then we'll take a look at the astrological energy that's kind of surrounding you and what you're being pushed to grow towards. Then we will discover your guardian angel, your spirit guide, deceased loved one, and a message from them in regards to all of this. And then we will touch upon the cards that brought you to kind of choose this pile, the doorway, the starseed card, this fun little message, as well as a match that has a sort of fun idea to try out today or this week to help spark some adventure back into your life. So let's take a look and see. So we have the 8 of Wands and the 7 of Swords. So this is about communication. There's some sort of communication that's being avoided and it needs to manifest, it needs to happen. So this could have to do, I think it has to do with like a one-on-one relationship with someone, because notice how the girl's just kind of like sneaking off and just wanting to ignore, but the boy's kind of following and peeking around the corner and watching her. So it could have to do with online communication, or there's some sort of avoidance going on. I think it is online, like some sort of stalking, someone that you're curious about or interested in, but you don't want to actually, I feel like closure actually for a lot of you is what needs to happen. Or there's some sort of online something going on, but let's take a look at the rest of the cards and I can expand on that. So from the chakra deck, 2 cards wanted to come out for you guys. And the first one is the blue chakra, and the second is the purple or indigo chakra. And this is where our third eye is. The blue chakra is where our throat is. Throat is all about communication. And our third eye is all about our intuition and kind of being able to see things from a spiritual perspective. So we have expansion from the throat chakra and mysticism from the indigo or purple chakra. And yeah, so the mysticism card, the story on it is about how sometimes things happen that we can't explain. Sometimes things come to us intuitively that we can't explain how we got to that conclusion or why we feel that way, but at some point we just have to accept that we do, and it is. And with the expansion card, I feel like you're being pushed to actually begin speaking on something that you've held back from for a long time. So it could have to do with a romantic relationship or a one-on-one relationship, maybe with a parent or a family member, where things have been held back. And you're kind of being pushed to finally talk about it. Or this could have to do with you finally speaking up and talking about your higher beliefs, stepping into spirituality, maybe a job related to spirituality, and you've held yourself back from doing so because, I don't know, you feel like insecure, like maybe you wouldn't be accepted. So there's communications coming through big time on this reading. You've got to open that throat chakra and start speaking what it is you're feeling and seeing, even if you feel like, well, I don't know how I got this conclusion. It's just how I feel. Say it anyways. Okay, from the interactive deck, we have these two cards, and they don't have names. It's just the imagery here. So this is interesting. Both of these cards kind of have a warrior sort of energy. This is kind of a native out in the jungle, but I mean, look how fierce he looks. And then this looks like a boxer that's preparing for a match. A boxing match, but it's kind of like hidden away. Both of these cards are in solitude, which is interesting. Both are in their own sort of solitude, but both quite angry and ready to like battle and fight anything that dares come their way. So there could be a lot of anger involved here. There could be a fear of anger, and that may be why you're not speaking up, for fear of inciting anger in other people or accidentally in yourself. But you need to get this energy out of you, definitely. Yeah, it's time to get this energy out of you. And from this card, it says, I need people to help me since I often feel emotionally weak and vulnerable. I need people to help me since I often feel emotionally weak and vulnerable. And then the flip side of this card says, my feelings are part of my intuitive guidance system. They are my great strengths that help me make the best choices in my life. So for me, this feeling thing is kind of coming up in this mysticism, intuitive card. You're not as weak as you think you are. And for what I'm hearing from your higher self is that your weakness is in the form of, I think you guys have a fear of your own temper and your uncontrolled sort of emotions. You may have had periods in your life where when you do open up or say something, it's like an outburst and you end up feeling embarrassed afterwards, or like you messed up or your emotions got the better of you. And so there's a fear there. But your higher self wants you to know that there's nothing to fear in that. You do have a very sort of like magnetic, forceful, powerful sort of energy, and outrage could be, an aspect of your personality, but your higher self doesn't want you to use that temper as an excuse to just close off your throat chakra and never speak your truth anymore, because there's a lot of communication that needs to be done. And I think that whenever you're finally allowed to have that communication and you're practicing that consistently, this temper that you're so scared of is going to kind of go away on its own. It's kind of like this boxer. He's a boxer. He needs to box. Once you let him out in the ring and he boxes and gets that out, he's not going to be boxing forever. He's got to come out of the ring at some point. And when he does, he'll be exhausted and it'll be time to rest. And then he can get on to other aspects of his life. But the boxing match needs to happen. This conversation needs to happen, or you're going to stay in this sort of state. And you're always going to be afraid of that part of yourself. So get out in the ring and let the conversation happen, and spirit and your higher self will take care of the rest of it. Okay, let's see what's going on astrologically with you all. I'm going to roll my dice first. Okay, we have South Node, Aquarius in the first house of self. Interesting. So your comfort zone is to keep things within and just to kind of do your own thing. And, just like in this card, do your own thing. And if someone does something you don't like, well, there's no need to communicate it. I'll just cut them out of my life or pull away from them. And, that's your comfort zone, that first house, the South Node in the first house. And Aquarius is about emotionally detaching from the situation. So your energy feels like the type of energy that is quite self-sufficient, okay? Definitely doesn't definitely not codependent, which is great, but you're kind of like way far on the other side, where it's like if any relationship starts to show signs of issues or problems or irritations, you don't feel like it's worth it or like it's right to talk about it. It's like, well, I don't want to change that person. If they want to change, they'll do it on their own. Like, it's not going to help me saying anything. So I'm no longer feeling this relationship, so I'm just going to, I'm out. And so you're in a phase right now of working through that. And Aquarius, that's an air energy. It's a lot about communicating. So you have a gift of communication when you allow it to happen. You just need to finally allow it. And yeah, not every relationship can be fixed or healed, but a lot can. And then this sort of internal energy, this sort of like masculine, angry, combative energy will be satisfied. And you're no longer going to be like scared of what's beneath the surface anymore. You are meant to, and actually, it would be really, really good, even though I know you guys are going to think or say, no, that's the opposite of what I would ever want to do. You guys should be involved in some sort of career that allows you to impose your ideas on others, that requires you communicate a lot, like politics, for example, or, maybe just in a leadership position at work, because you guys are great with your words and your mind is on point. And that would also help with this internal energy here, this sort of wild animal boxing sort of energy. If you had a job which allowed you to just debate and communicate and speak and whatever it is, you would feel, I don't know, that's what your higher self wants you to do, some sort of job or career, which allows you to get very comfortable with this throat chakra energy of communicating, persuading, coercing, sharing your ideas and your thoughts on something, sharing your judgments and your critiques on something. You guys would be very good. You're meant to do that. But for a lot of you, I do feel that this is all going to start with some sort of major conversation you need to have with someone. That'll be the catalyst to moving you towards this energy and your purpose. Okay, so we have the Capricorn card. So you guys could be Capricorns or have that energy. I forgot to also mention singing, songwriting. That could be a way for you to express this as well. So Capricorn, then we have semi-sextile, which is allowing. We have Jupiter in Scorpio, and it says manipulation, which you guys don't even know, but you're very good at it. I think you guys see that as like a negative thing, but no, it's not. Anyone who's in a position of power has to know how to manipulate others into getting on board with their idea, into believing in the cause. You guys have a gift for that, and you're meant to use it. Ooh, and look at this, Mars in Cancer, and it says quarrel. You have such strong like debating energy. You need to be able to debate with others about your ideas. Do something political or start some sort of Facebook group or like an online forum which allows you to like share your ideas even on like mundane sort of things. Open up that throat chakra. Focus on, make your next goal at work to get that promotion, get into a leadership or a management position. With that Capricorn energy, people respect you without you having to try very hard. And I don't think you feel that way and that's all because of this throat chakra that's been blocked off. But that Capricorn energy, it demands respect naturally. People will respect you very easily. With that Jupiter and Scorpio manipulation, you and this Aquarius energy, you have such a way with words. You're viewed as so intelligent and so wise. You could do a lot of healing in, I keep wanting to say politics. I know there's other realms where this kind of occurs, like a divorce lawyer or a marriage counselor, or I don't know, anything that's about kind of debating or mending the two sides of something and really forcing yourself out there would be great for you. You're much more persuasive than you guys realize. You have a very magnetic energy and persona about you, and your higher self wants you to tap into that and use it. Okay, let's look at which spiritual team member of yours wants to come through. Wow, more Capricorn energy, you guys. We have the Devil here. Now, this won't be interpreted negatively because this pile is about, which guardian angel wants to come through for you. So the Devil, this is a guardian angel who is helping you gain your power in this earthly realm. Like, get to the top of that mountain like the mountain goat. Climb that steep mountain. Conquer those earthly dreams, those material dreams in regards to money, fame, power, all of this. Beautiful. And there's a strong Capricorn energy in this reading. You just have to stop being scared of that power. Stop being scared of your so-called temper or this or that, and instead just keep that throat chakra open and flowing at all times. And you're not going to have you won't have a temper. And especially if you can find a way to use this sort of combative energy that's within you for a good cause, then you really, won't feel that way about yourself at all. And you'll be making a big difference in the world as well. Okay, we have the Temperance card. So this is Sagittarius energy. And the Temperance is also about bringing two sides together, which is what this quarrel energy is about. So it first needs to start in your personal life, okay? That's going to be where you get the practice out, is through this important conversation with a particular person or a few different people in your life. Or it could be an as you go type of thing. So over the next few months, there could be situations that come up in your one-on-one relationships that normally you would just like ignore, okay? Because you don't want to try and force people to change unless they want to. So you're kind of like against bringing up the things that bother you. But that's a skewed perception on your part. And your higher self wants you to instead, as those little things come up, voice it as it happens. Voice it as it happens and say like, hey, this has really been bothering me, or don't really like that, or start there. And then spirit, your higher self and spirit is working to build you up to a platform. Maybe you're going to have a YouTube channel where you're going to be talking about some very controversial things and debating some things, but you're bringing it together. So we have Capricorn, Sagittarius energy, Archangel Michael. So this is my second group that's had Archangel Michael come through as a guardian of theirs. It says, I stand for justice and truth. I live from my integrity. You guys may be meant to talk about religious views and perspectives, law, order, again, political sort of energy I'm kind of feeling here, war. Maybe you guys are meant to do, and then we have Archangel Gabriel. And this says, I am made whole by the message of love, brotherhood, and freedom. Beautiful. Open your voice. You guys are the type of people who get very angry at the sight of injustice, more so than other people. No one likes injustice, but some people get really affected by it when they see it on TV or they see it in person. And you may look at that as a weakness, like, oh, I wish I could be like more of the person who could kind of calmly see both sides of the situation, but I get so angry and so involved and so ticked off, and I hate that about myself. I feel like that's how you guys feel. That is a gift from spirit, and your guardian angel wants you to know that. They put that in you purposefully because you're supposed to make a difference with it. But you can't make a difference by just feeling angry. You have to speak up about it. You have to talk about it. You have to point it out, right? And I feel like whenever you guys were younger, you were much feistier than you are now. This energy came naturally for you to use at a young age, where you guys were the type of people who weren't scared to look at an adult that was upsetting you about something or that you felt was doing something wrong and say like, hey, sir, you shouldn't be littering, or hey, sir or ma'am, you shouldn't be cussing. That was you. But as you got older, you felt like that was something to be ashamed by, or like, how silly of me, I should have been more respectful, or this, that, or the other. But wipe away all those negative connotations you have about that energy, because it is fantastic and God wants to use that in your life. Okay, the saint you have is Saint Paulus, and it's card number 68. So 6, 8, 14, or 5 could be significant numbers in your life. Let's see what Saint Paulus is for. So he was the persecutor of Christians, but he converted to Christianity. Sorry, my phone. He converted to Christianity after a vision. The meaning of this card when you pull it is contradictions, strongly opposed unions, and inner enlightenment. You are meant to take a side. You've got to get, I'm getting so many messages from your higher self. You are naturally the type of person that views two sides and knows exactly which side they are on. And you can never convince you to go over to the other side, right? Because you're so strongly on this side. No, this is what's right. There's no gray area. There's no middle ground. That's the energy you were born into and meant to embody. As you have gotten older, you have felt that you're supposed to be ashamed for that there's always a gray area, that you're supposed to kind of be a little bit on this side and a little bit on that side. So that's resulted in you kind of like hopping around all sorts of different things just to please people, or because you think that comes across as more wise or whatever. And yeah, maybe society views it that way, but look, you're going against your greatest gift and your most purest form of energy. which is supposed to be very much in opposition to many other beliefs and things. It's time for you, and your intuition guides you in that, okay? That's what this mysticism is about. You don't need to do a lot of studying to kind of figure out what you feel pulled towards, what you want to fight for, what you want to fight against, and step into that power, because there's so many ways that spirit wants to use that in your life, specifically in career, but also in your relationships as well. Your voice is meant to be a vessel for some very important causes and injustices and belief systems, etc., etc., etc. For you, there is no gray area. You either pick black or you pick white, and you fight for that team until you die, basically. This energy can accomplish a lot in this lifetime. Stop being ashamed. Stop trying to mix the white with the black and mix the black with the white paint and make a bunch of shades of gray. No, that's not for you. Okay? All right, let's get to the last few cards that brought you to this reading. First, we have this. Oh my God. So this is a Starseed deck. Here's what it looks like on the back. And literally, you guys pulled the Starseed card from the Starseed deck. It says, raise the vibration of the planet through your radiant, loving light. Stop being ashamed of these convictions that you feel so strongly about. Stop being ashamed that, other people don't get so irritated in their day-to-day lives when they see injustices. Other people look into the psychology of, why that person does what they do and trying to understand it. Yes, some people have that gift. You're the type of person that you see something done wrong and you are ticked off, and you're going to tell that person about it. And you're going to say why you don't think that's right. And guess what? The world needs lots of people like you too. So get out of this comparison world that you've been in for a long time and this sort of shaming that you've done for yourself, and start speaking up. You're here to raise the vibration. Here's the doorway you all chose, kind of rusted and rustic looking, and it says, the sacred lotus, compassion in action, the chosen tool. I see now the lotus in your spirit's jewel. The lotus is a flower that takes a very long time to bloom, but when it does, dang, is it gorgeous? Is it gorgeous? Compassion in action. Take these feelings of compassion, these feelings of anger you have for injustice, and instead of letting them sit in the feelings, take action on it. Get in that boxing ring. Go and do something about it. You will make a huge difference, and you're going to feel so good about yourself. So good about yourself. And then it says here, it's up to you to find beauty in the ugliest days. And this goes so well with the door you chose, because this is kind of like this rustic, kind of old, ugly door. Like you wouldn't expect a lot opening the door and going inside. You may expect the inside of this house to kind of look like the outside, but in this case, no. You open those doors and there's a gorgeous, magnificent palace waiting behind those doors. That is you. You've been judging yourself by the outside for too long. There's a lotus within you. There's a jewel within you that you've got to stop hiding. Stop hiding it away. Let me read this card. It says, everyone has survived some super crappy days, but even when it comes to those crappiest of crap days, if you look back, you can pretty much always find something beautiful. Maybe someone was unexpectedly kind to you, or for a split second, the startingly gold sunset made you forget your life was crumbling. Or perhaps there were donuts with sprinkles at your first AA meeting. The trick is to train yourself to spot the beauty in that very moment, aka real time. It makes the ugly days a little less ugly. And to me, I feel like this is less about your day-to-day life and more about how you view yourself and your own worth. So a lot of you guys are going to be very highly successful people. That's the energy I'm getting from this reading. Highly successful and make huge differences in terms of humanity and injustice and compassion and charity work and all sorts of stuff. So good for you. I can't wait for you guys to start getting excited about this energy that you have, to be forceful and to take a side and fight strongly for it and embracing that part of yourself. Okay, so the idea for you to try out today or this week to spark some adventure in your life. It says, eat dessert first. Do something saved for later right now instead. So some sort of exciting passion project you've been putting off, do it first instead. Or eat dessert first tonight for dinner instead of dinner. But also don't forget to open up that throat chakra and have that important conversation, get some things off of your chest, even if it's just on social media. Maybe it's something as simple as going on a political rant. that you've been afraid to take sides on because how people would view you. Start taking sides and be forceful, and don't let people make you flip-floppy about it. You're not meant for that. Trust your third eye. It's strong. You know what you're talking about. You know why you feel the way you do. You don't need someone trying to convince you over to the other side. God put that fighting spirit in you for this purpose right here. So comment below. Let me know how this resonated. If you haven't subscribed, I would love it if you would do so and join my YouTube family, my lovelies over here, so I can continue giving you, more readings to connect with yourself and learn more about yourself. Don't forget to hit the thumbs up button and leave me a comment down below as well. I always comment back with you guys. I'm small enough to where I can still do that, and I'm so thankful for that. I'll never stop commenting back, but I'm at least at a point right now where I can still comment to everyone. So I look forward to seeing you guys in the next reading. Love you. Bye. Hi, pile number 6, and welcome to your reading. Go ahead and have a seat, get comfy, grab a snack and a drink. I got myself some coffee before I started yours because I was just craving it. So go ahead and do the same if you feel the need to. And let's get into this. So I've broken up your reading into several parts. We're going to touch on the tarot, what's going on with you internally. Then we're going to touch on what's going on astrologically, what you're being forced to grow towards. Then we're going to receive a message from a member of your spiritual team. It could be your guardian angel, a spirit guide, a deceased loved one, what they have to say to you. And then we're going to touch on the cards that led you to choose this pile, the doorway, the starseed card. There are always like some fun messages in there, as well as your spark adventure matchstick. So an idea you can try out today or this week to bring some passion and adventure and spontaneity back into your life. So let's start with the tarot. Okay, we have the Judgment card, as well as, what card number is this? 19. Okay. I actually need to look up it's a major arcana card, but it just doesn't look familiar to me. I haven't used this little deck before. Oh, that's the Sun card. Okay, so this is the Sun card. It just looks different. So they have the honeybees. All right, so Judgment card. So the Judgment card is about a rebirth, but a rebirth of your choice, of your own choosing, of your own doing, like waking up, hearing the sound of the horn on your life and deciding things are changing starting now. And with the Sun card, it could be in regards to your own creativity, especially with the honeybees. There may be either like you may have begun to recognize the need to add creativity into your life, or to act on a creative idea or a creative talent that you have that maybe you've just been putting off for too long and you're just tired of it. You're like, okay, it's happening now. Enough is enough. But the Sun also represents our own happiness. So maybe this is about you finally, like, maybe you've gone through a breakup phase, and you've been kind of in that sadness, and now you're like, okay, this phase is done. Like, I'm done with this. I'm walking towards my happiness now. I've wallowed enough. Or I've been dealing with depression and anxiety all of these years. Enough is enough. I'm getting the therapist. I'm getting the medication. So you're taking action on something that's going to be really good for you. It's going to bring you a lot of joy. So let's get into the rest of these cards and see what your higher self has to say. So the chakra that's coming out for you is the blue chakra. This is the throat chakra. It's about our communication. And this says workaholic. But this is workaholic in a good sense if you read the message on the card. Notice this is Mr. Blueberry. He is painting portraits. Very creative energy. And he loves it so much, what he's doing and creating, that he can't even stop. He just keeps going and going and going, and he feels so much purpose in it. So there's something creative that you guys maybe always wanted to do, but have always put it off, and you're finally acting upon it, or you should be. That's what your higher self wants to say. This is a talent. Start doing it. Start activating it. Okay, from the interactive deck, these cards don't have names. They're just images. We have both of these cards, and this is kind of like the scarecrow or the skeleton woman at night. Look, she's got the crow. This is a very intuitive energy. This is feminine energy very strongly with the moon and the crow and the female. But it's spiritual feminine energy because this woman doesn't have a body. She's a skeleton. Very interesting. And then in this card, we have the little kid in the war zone, the little kid in the chaotic war zone, kind of confused and not really knowing what to do with himself and feeling very scared. So it feels to me like you have a very strong feminine energy. Feminine energy is dark. I feel like you guys are quite psychic and intuitive, but not in a way that you've tapped into. In fact, I feel like you have shunned it because I think some frightening little things have happened. Whether they, like seeing a ghost, for example, or having a nightmare, or yeah, some sort of psychic happenings. And you've been terrified of those. So you've shut down that part of yourself. Denied it to yourself that it even happened because it just freaks you out too much to even think about it or go there. But the unfortunate part about that is that psychic energy is your divine feminine energy, which is our creative energy. So because you blocked that part of yourself off, you've also inadvertently blocked off your creative self. You have to start opening that and expressing both aspects, and move out of this state of fear. Because what you're actually fearing, what you don't realize, is you're not fearing the ghost or the psychic happenings. You're fearing your own self. This is you. You guys are like a very cool, edgy, dark energy. But you're scared of it for some reason. You've been scared of it, and your higher self wants you to stop with that. There's nothing to be scared of. Nothing to be scared of at all. Okay. So this card says, when I get upset, things go to my chest, my breasts, my heart, or my lungs. When I get upset, that's interesting. Okay, the other side of the card says, I experience and express a healthy balance of all 5 basic emotions, including sadness, anger, fear, love, and joy. I nurture others as I nurture myself. So this suppression of this dark feminine energy that is you, and this is the energy that you guys can create from. It's the only energy you can create from, is from this dark feminine energy, this chaotic energy. Because you suppress it or block it off, I feel like you notice effects on your body. You may get unexplained rashes sometimes that pop up. You may suddenly have like breathing or asthma issues, for example, or maybe your heart like skips a beat. Something weird going on in your body that's unexplained. Maybe you've been to doctors before and they're like, well, I don't know. It looks like it just happens to you sometimes, but nothing to worry about. There's no major cause to it. That's because of you suppressing this dark, divine, feminine sort of energy, which is really interesting. You guys are meant to create everything from pure darkness, which I feel like you think that you shouldn't be doing that. Like maybe you've tried to write a song before, or a poem, or do a painting of something very bright and sunny and pretty, and it never works out right. It's never that good. And it's because that's not your divine feminine. Your divine feminine is darkness. If you write a breakup song, or you write about your nightmares, or do a portrait on your nightmares, or on a ghost or a skeleton, or if you focus on that dark energy, what you create will be really, really good. So just stop being scared of that. Stop being ashamed of that, okay? All right, let's get into the astrology. See what's going on in your outside reality and what it's pushing you towards and what your higher self wants to say about that. But definitely create. Create from the darkness, from the scary. Look at this. We have the moon, the crescent moon again, right here, which is all about our creative energy and divine feminine. And we have the 10th house, which is our career, and Taurus. You will be able to sell what you create, you guys, but you have to create from the darkness, from the scary things. From the scary things. That's the best way to describe it. Whatever you create or mess with, it has to be scary, dark, fearful, dingy, psychotic, all of that. But with that Taurus energy there, which is a divine feminine energy, it's going to bring you a lot of stability in your life, a lot of money, a lot of material wealth, a lot of possessions, a lot of earnings, and it's part of your purpose. And once you're no longer suppressing this part of yourself, you're going to, one, become a workaholic. Like you're going to love what you do so much that you can't even stop working. It's hard for you to pull away from it. And two, the weird little rashes and things that come up, that's going to go away. You're not going to have that issue anymore. Okay, we have Mars in Scorpio, and it says revenge. Beautiful. We have a 9th house, seeking. 9th house is all about our spiritual beliefs and the spiritual perspective and our religion. Interesting. And then we have Aries. So Aries, the Aries energy could be prominent in your chart. We have Aries here, and then we have Mars and Scorpio. Scorpio is also ruled by Mars. Aries is ruled by Mars. So this is an action-oriented energy. So your higher self wants you to take action on this now. Make the judgment call, like in the judgment card. Take action and start creating these dark things that you're so scared of and that you think are, I don't know, nasty or taboo or whatever it is, a cult. You're supposed to create from that energy. And it could have to do with spirituality with the ninth house and being something in regards to your religious views or on the topic of religion or travel or philosophy. It could have to do with something philosophical. But with the Mars and Scorpio and a revenge card, it makes me think that you'll be doing something that talks a lot about or creates a lot from breakups and bad love affairs and something like that. Death, you know, anger, revenge. Like it could even have to do with like psychopaths, sociopaths, funerals. Like there's some sort of dark energy here that is meant to be expressed and explored with that ninth house energy that's all about exploration. So it's this exploration of these dark depths, taboo, occult depths within yourself and creating from that. And it's going to heal your body through that experience as well. Okay, let's see what guardian angel wants to come through for you. What I say about the breakups? 3 of Swords. So this is an angel that helps you, assists you in creating from the bleeding, creating from the heartache. So get out that pen and paper, write the poetry, write the song, make the sculpture, make the YouTube video, make the painting. Like this angel helps you to do that, create from that darkness. Look, we have the moon card. Holy crap. You guys could be Pisces, Cancers. You don't have to be, but the moon kind of rules that energy. But I also feel strong Scorpio energy. You could be a Scorpio midheaven or Scorpio ascendant. With the moon card, that has a lot to do with our psychology. You could be meant to kind of work with people who are in dark situations, people in prisons, in psychiatric wards, something like that, and create with them or through them and explore the depths of the subconscious. And just gorgeous, gorgeous energy. Okay, we have the angel of freedom. It says, I am always free to choose love, independence, and creativity. Up until you guys have this, your soul, your higher self is a very free energy, especially with the ninth house. It wants to explore and go wherever the hell it wants to go. But because you incarnated in this lifetime and suddenly developed this fear of your very psychic, dark, divine feminine nature, you've closed that door off to yourself, and your higher self and your spiritual team wants you to know that's unnatural for you. Go explore it. Deal with being a little scared of it. You'll get over that. But you're meant to incorporate freedom, true freedom in this lifetime, not block yourself from exploring anything that sparks your curiosity. If anything, if it feels kind of scary and a bit taboo to you, that's exactly where you should be headed. Okay, 2 saints came out for you. You were the only deck with 2 saints. Look at this. The first card is card number 9. So again, we have ninth house energy, Jupiter energy, Sagittarius energy. And this is Saint Ambrosius. And then we have card number, holy crap. Oh my God, you guys. Then we have card number 54, which 5 plus 4 equals 9. So you guys could be Sagittariuses or have that somewhere important in your chart. And this is Saint Joseph. So let me look up both of these and see why 2 saints wanted to come out. But this has to do with your let me just say this, your guardian angel is a very dark feminine energy. Like I get like Kali Ma energy, or that's really, yeah, like or like a witchy sort of energy, a sorceress sort of energy. She's very dark and very pure, but very powerful. Sorry, my phone's about to die. Try and connect with her energy, because basically anything negative that ever happens in your life, you can somehow turn it into a career purpose or money or some sort of beautiful creation. Okay, so number 9, Saint Ambrosius. He's a protector of beekeepers. Okay, that's crazy because we have the Sun card, which is this girl surrounded with bees. I You guys are my favorite pile so far. This is so crazy. Okay. Protector of beekeepers, and he was the Bishop of Milan. And this card stands for honor, money, and excellent health. So you guys are meant to, this energy you have is very powerful and can create a lot of wealth very quickly, especially because you're going to be obsessed with it. This is the energy of obsession. That's the energy you create from. Okay, let me see what card 54 is. So Saint Joseph, husband of the Virgin Mary, protects fathers and carpenters. And it says protective man and mature age. That's interesting because I have all this feminine energy I'm pulling from this reading, and that means protective man. Okay, let me clarify this real quick for you. Spirit, what is Saint Joseph doing in this pile? Okay, we have the Judgment card again, Queen of Cups, and the World, and 8 of Swords. Okay, I see. Okay, so it's highly likely that in this lifetime, you all experienced an overbearing man, a jealous man. Okay, there's either your father was quite strict, maybe borderline abusive physically and very domineering. I see that with this energy. If not your father, then you could have had a relationship with a man where he was like very controlling and stifling. Or this could have to do with ancestral karma, where you are here to work out that karmic energy of many women in your family experiencing that sort of controlling abuse from a man, okay? You're here to help heal that and set it free, and you're doing it through this very dark, obsessed, powerful feminine energy. I love you guys' energy. Usually by the 6th pile, I'm so exhausted, it's hard to even start getting really excited about what I'm seeing, but this is so badass, you guys. So you are meant to conquer and kind of squash that stifling, controlling, possessive male energy that's in your ancestral karmic DNA and overpower it with your very strong, scary feminine energy and make a lot of money and make this a part of your legacy. Okay, let's look at the last few cards, see how this ties in. And these are the cards that were on the very top of your deck. From the Starseed deck, we have this card, and it says surrender. Surrender your need to control the outcome. Just be with life in this present moment. The energy of surrender, which is very much connected to the moon's energy and to divine feminine energy. Masculine energy wants to control and nitpick and know the outcome and assert themselves over the outcome. If you're attached to that energy, that goes very much against who you are at a soul level and what your higher self is. You are ultimate divine, like Lilith. Look up the asteroid Lilith and her story. You are that energy, the energy of Lilith. Lilith could somehow be like a spirit guide energy of yours. Yeah, I feel that strongly. Black Lilith and Kali Ma, which is the energy of surrender. Surrendering to the universe, connecting to like that sort of cosmic death, surrendering to death and transformation over and over and over again. So get more and tap more into this energy of surrendering. What do you want to create? Just surrender to that. Don't question it. Don't question its tabooness or its darkness. What are you interested in? Don't question whether it's too dark or too taboo or too occult. Just surrender to it and explore it. Okay, this is the doorway you chose. And it says hummingbird song. Hummingbird could be a spirit animal of yours or a bird that you've seen lately. It says nectar of sweetness. Again, we have 3 cards here referring to honey and nectar. Nectar of sweetness, and joy it brings, the hummingbird's healing as medicine it sings. So you could create music, singing, that could have music that's about more like darker, heavy subjects. Or you could be into like psychology, poetry, some sort of YouTube channel maybe that covers murder mysteries or something like that. But there's also, I don't even think you realize this, but you guys are like gorgeous. Like there's a very sexy energy coming off of this pile. This dark, feminine, sultry, like people are going to very easily become quite obsessed with you because you have this allure about you that just adds to what you create. But start connecting to your spirit guides of Lilith and Kali Ma. Look them up, research them, connect to their energy. Okay, then from the Spiritual AF deck, it says, vibrate so high that toxic people fall back because they no longer know how to approach you. This is what will happen as soon as you stop trying to conform to this sort of masculine energy that our society holds up on a pedestal so much. I don't think you saw healthy masculine energy in your life. You weren't meant to, though, because you were meant to want to abandon that masculine energy, that toxic masculinity, okay, and walk towards your deep, dark feminine energy. Okay, and then let's see from the Spark Adventure deck what idea your matchstick wants you to try out this week. It says, practice spontaneity. Drop everything and change plans at the last minute. Well, if that is not the definition of surrender, I don't know what that is. If you're putting yourself on a schedule, your higher self feels stifled. You are meant to surrender and create and flow and also be in love with yourself and carry this sort of dark, obsessive, sultry energy. I love it. I love it. Okay, thank you so much for coming to this reading. If you haven't subscribed, please go ahead and do that now and join my little family over here so I can keep connecting to this gorgeous energy and giving you guys readings in the future. And don't forget to comment below and leave me a thumbs up. It helps get the video out to more people. Plus, I really like talking to you guys down in the comments. I respond to every single one of you, and I look forward to connecting with you guys in that way. I will see you guys next time. Get creating, okay? I love you.